this is a video podcast.
Yes.
Talk.
Yeah.
So we just this is an open conversation. So
Sure.
whatever you want to talk, we can talk.
Yeah, you wrote up.
Yeah. And because you're doing so good in Silicon Valley. So right now, and so what is your plan? What is your future plan?
Okay. My future plan in
Yes.
Silicon Valley or in China.
Both.
So I'm working all around the world.
Mhm.
What I do is I run Founder Space,
Yes.
and Founder Space is a global venture builder.
Mm-hmm.
So we are working with entrepreneurs
Yes.
all over the world.
Mm.
A lot of entrepreneurs here in China,
Yes.
but also a lot in Silicon Valley, all across Europe, even in Eurasia, countries like Uzbekistan, Georgia, Turkey. I have strong relationships there with the entrepreneurs, the venture capitalists. So I'm always traveling.
Okay. So right now, how many branch offices right now you have?
So we work with different partners in different countries.
Okay.
So we don't have our own branch offices there,
Okay.
but we work with partner branch offices.
Okay.
So like, for example, in the country of Georgia,
Yeah.
very small country, very beautiful,
Mhm.
we work with the local government there and
Okay.
different partners. So we'll come in and we help them select the entrepreneurs that receive government grants. And then a lot of times when those entrepreneurs want to go abroad, we'll help them come abroad, like to
Okay.
Silicon Valley or to other places. We do similar things, across Europe with different European governments.
Mhm.
And then we do the same thing in Asia.
Okay.
So we work a lot. Of course, we work a lot. Our biggest partner right now
Mhm.
is China.
Okay. So what do you consider the difference between the, for example, like incubate, accelerate, and also your founder space? It's kind of like a founder space is kind of like a it's kind of like a consortium.
So Founder Space began
Yeah.
in San Francisco
Okay.
12 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and we began as a typical accelerator.
I see.
And our mission, though, was a little different than YC
Mm-hmm.
or 500 or these other accelerators.
Mm-hmm.
Our mission was to take entrepreneurs from abroad that were coming into Silicon Valley
I see.
and actually help them in a very concentrated period of time
Mm-hmm.
land in Silicon Valley,
Mm-hmm.
launch their companies, raise capital, and go to market.
Okay. So it's more like kind of like a innovation center, right?
It was an innovation
Innovation center.
center, but also an accelerator.
Okay.
So we bring in batches
Mhm.
of startups
Mhm.
from all over the world. We had lots of groups come from South Korea,
Mm-hmm.
lots of groups come from Taiwan,
Mm-hmm.
groups coming from China,
Yes.
groups coming from all across Europe, Germany, France, Austria, Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
And then we take these groups, sometimes we combine them, sometimes we run them separately, and they come in, and in a very short time, usually 2 to 3 weeks, they would, instead of like the YC model,
Mm-hmm.
where they would meet once a week for 3 months,
Yes.
we would meet every day.
Okay. For
Every-
3 months.
No, every day for 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, for 2 or 3.
So it was because these entrepreneurs needed to get up to speed quickly.
Oh, I
So
see.
every single day we'd have different groups, mentors come in from Silicon Valley. They could work at Meta, they could work at Google, they could work at all these companies,
Yes.
or they would be experienced entrepreneurs,
Mhm.
and they would mentor these startups and get them ready. And at the end of that time, they would do their first demo day because they already had mature products.
Yeah.
And a lot of times our partners were the governments.
Okay.
So we would work very closely like with the governments of Austria. We worked with them and we bring their startups over, the government of Italy or the government of Germany. So governments were our partners. They would select the startups, we bring them into our incubator, run them through our program, and kind of launch them in Silicon Valley.
I see. So what is the contribution you to the, for example, to the startup? For example, like do you make some equity investment?
So that would depend.
Okay.
So in certain cases,
Mhm.
absolutely, we made equity investment. But in other cases, we didn't because it would depend on the government. And what the government. So a lot of times the government would just want to pay us cash.
I see.
So they would pay us cash. The entrepreneurs would get it for free.
I
They
see.
would come in. And then a upon graduating, we might pick the best ones out of the batch and make some equity investments. But the others, we offered it more as a service. For us, it was a great way because we're seeing like the cream of the crop that were funded by the different governments and brought over, and then we can choose which ones we want.
So you mean government only make the grant, right? So
it's a grant. They're giving a grant.
No equity position.
No, the government doesn't take it.
Okay.
They're just paying for those startups to come over, go through our program, graduate, and then launch in Silicon Valley.
This is
so that was our model in the early days. So we did that for many, many years. During COVID, though, we pivoted, we changed. We switched more towards becoming a venture builder. So we decided, and the governments during COVID couldn't send anybody anyway. So we just decided to focus on finding the startups that we liked the best and working very closely with those. And then we also began running our own educational programs all around the world.
I see.
So I'd travel to South Korea, or I'd go to Turkey, or I'd go to Uzbekistan or China, and we'd run these programs for entrepreneurs in those countries, educating them in their home country, but also providing a path to go to Silicon Valley.
So you mean that you provided like venture education for
venture education and venture building, yes.
Okay.
And then we kept evolving, and right now we are very focused, of course, around AI. So we're working with AI startups at one level, but we're also working at another level with leading global corporations. So some of the biggest companies in the world. Here in China, we've been working with like the upper management teams of companies like Lenovo, Volkswagen of China, Alibaba, all of these big companies. We've worked with Bosch, we've worked with Ralph Lauren here in China, and then we work with them in the US too, like Qualcomm. In India, we work with Infosys.
So this is for the executive training, or just
no, for these big companies, we do something very different. So we run high-level programs on strategy and innovation. So right now we'll meet with like their top executives, their senior management, and we will train them on how to formulate an AI strategy. So
you're talking about the adoption of the AI.
Right, because every major company in the world is struggling right now with how to deploy AI. They don't know what to do. They don't have a clear strategy, and they're trying to figure out what really works. So a lot of them have tried a lot of pilots, and they failed. Right, the pilots very seldom become real, and so they understand that they need to start deploying agents within their company out of the pilot stage and actually gain adoption across the organization, but they don't have a clear path for doing that. So we will come in because we work with so many of these large companies, and we will help them figure out that path. What are the steps you need to take to actually, in a meaningful way, incorporate AI agents into your workflows and actually get results.
Okay.
But we don't do the implementation. We only do the high-level strategy.
This is a question I'm asking. I mean, if you give the hands-on on that, right now actually is your first of all education. Second, consulting. But for the implementation side,
we don't do that.
You don't do that. Okay.
So that's what our company Founderspace does. Then me personally, I write my books. You know my book, Making Offers Fly, and Through the Winter. It's called Surviving a Startup in the West. So I write my books. I'm writing a new book on AI that will be coming out, and I'm in Beijing right now to launch a nonprofit.
So what is the name of nonprofit?
It's the Captain's Future Foundation.
Wow, this sounds very interesting.
This will launch tomorrow.
Oh, really?
Tomorrow is our launch day. And the Captain's Future Foundation is its mission is to take young people.
I see.
Most of them college-age students. So we're going to partner with universities around the world to take these young students and prepare them for the age of AI. Because think about it, if you're a college student today and you're going out into the workforce, it's brutal. Like it doesn't matter if you're in China.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get a job now. It doesn't matter if you're in Canada. Very hard, we were talking about that. Or even in Silicon Valley now.
Yeah.
Really hard for college-age grads to get jobs. They're not being hired. So how do they prepare for this future? And also, we want them, the college students, to understand AI, not just at a technical level, but at a social level. How do these new applications, which are becoming very, very powerful, how will they influence their lives, their personal lives? How will they influence their career? And how will they change the society we live in?
Yeah.
So we are going to be rolling out this new foundation, and we will be launching think tanks within universities around the world. And these think tanks will not be academics.
I know. Yeah.
They will be
Thinking,
students, student think tanks.
Oh.
So think tanks for students to actually think and come up with policies around AI and ideas around AI and how AI should be used in society. And then they will generate these ideas. We will host then competitions at a national level and at a global level where they'll compete with their ideas. And the winners, we will match with industry. So they will partner with industry. So that's the Captain's Future Foundation.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Well, I'm super excited because I think our young generation needs to take ownership of AI.
Yeah.
You know, right now it's AI is happening everywhere, but a few people are taking ownership, right? They have AI startups, but the vast majority of college students, they're left out of this, and we want them to actually be involved in actually guiding how AI is used in society, to make sure that AI is used to reflect our human values and human-centric. So the AI will actually, what we want is AI not just to make the world more efficient, but we want to make it a better place for us to live, and not just for a few wealthy tech founders, right, who become incredibly rich, like Elon Musk or Zuckerberg. We want to make that the value of AI proliferate amongst everybody, especially the young people.
Yeah.
You look at young people, a lot of them, it doesn't matter if you're in China or other countries, a lot of them are lying down, right? They're like, they give up. They're like, I don't have a future. I can't get a job. I can't, what's my future? We want them to stand up and say, look, this is your future. This is your technology. You need to decide what we do with it.
Yeah, so younger generation must take the responsibility. But I think right now it is time for them. Because because of the AI and the one-man company.
You could do so much, right? One person can do so much. And to me, we have a lot of entrepreneurs. Some will be successful, a lot will fail, even with this new technology. But to me, what's really important is how do we use AI in the world? How do we apply AI to solve real problems and then create value for all of us, right? For everybody. Because you look at a lot of AI, it can make a company very efficient and it can make employees very efficient, but then the more efficient each employee becomes, the less employees the company needs. And so it can create a very profitable company, but on a social level, it's going to be really difficult for us to make this transition to AI. Because you and I are very deeply involved in AI.
That's right.
We see where things are going. And we understand that technology previously always created more jobs than it destroyed. Right? This creative destruction, right? We would destroy a lot of jobs, but we'd create vastly more jobs.
That's right.
The future isn't going to be that way. Because before, our machines would automate, but they wouldn't think and reason. Today, we have built machines, artificial intelligence agents, that can literally reason and solve problems like human beings. And they are just beginning, right? We're at the beginning of what they will become exponentially smarter over the next decade. And you can extrapolate from there that a lot of jobs, it doesn't matter if you're a DD driver and it's a self-driving car, or you're somebody who works in a hotel and you'll have a robot taking over your job, or you're in the information knowledge economy. That's even easier because AI can do that really well now. We're going to see a lot of these jobs, simply people can't compete with AI. all it needs is electricity, right? We need healthcare, benefits, vacation. We need humans need all these things that are very expensive.
Even they don't need to go to the toilet.
Right, and they can work like so fast, right? They can process documents and knowledge and information so fast that we're entering a whole new era. Now, so these are the issues I want students to think about. I want them to start to think about this. And where does human value lie? Where will humans need to contribute in the future? Where can we add value that AI doesn't add? And how do we collaborate with AI? How will they collaborate with AI? And what are the right ways? There are questions out there that I'm always thinking about. Like imagine you have 2 kids, right?
Yeah.
They haven't had you're not a grandfather yet. No. You're not that old. But eventually, hopefully you will be a grandfather.
That's right.
When your children have children, the babies born now will literally grow up with AI.
Yeah.
They will grow up with AI. And think about it. If you're young and your parents are busy doing stuff, they're going to hand you their phone or a tablet, and you're going to be talking to an AI that understands you as a child, that teaches you language, that teaches you about the world, that becomes your best friend. Now, this can be very educational and very powerful, but it can also be very strange that our children may be talking to AI more than they talk to the parents or their friends or other people. You know, it used to be, we have phones now, right?
Yeah.
It used to be, if you go back 20 years, nobody would imagine everybody would be doing on their phone, you know, glued to their phone. You know, I talk to so many more people on WeChat and Instagram and Facebook every day than I talk to people in person.
Yeah.
That would be inconceivable 20 years ago. Imagine the children growing up with AI. Will they be communicating with AI and AI agents far more than other people? How can we responsibly use this technology so that we don't become more isolated, so that we become, that AI actually makes us more human, not less human, right? These are the questions we haven't even begun to answer. Right now, everybody's just trying to make money. But I'm the nonprofit. Why it has to be a nonprofit is the goal of this isn't to make money. The goal of this is to think at a deeper level about our social issues and actually come back and have our young people say, this is the world we want to grow up in. We don't want to grow up in this other world. How do we make it like this instead of that?
That's right. This is I think this is very meaningful for the human being, and also not for the individual country, for the worldwide, I think. So right now, so what is the stage? So you were registered a nonprofit in China, or?
We did. So at the national level, we have a partner who's already certified. You know, it's very hard to get certified as a foundation.
Very deep.
So we are under that, and so we've set it up. We're launching. We're bringing key people like you, hopefully, as our advisors, to help figure out for our young people what do we want. What environment can we take where they take ownership of their own future, right? We've had our future, like we've created the world up to now. Now we have to hand it off to them, but I don't think they're prepared yet. They're not prepared because our educational institutions aren't really keeping up with.
Well, education is not there, so nobody tells the children next generation what is the future will look like, right?
Yes.
So actually, we don't know either.
We don't know either, but we need to start thinking about it now.
Yeah, we must do it right now.
Because the changes are coming so fast.
I think you got to be doing this in the United Nations level instead of the individual.
Well, that's an area where we have to talk. Because we may be able to partner there. Yes, we can.
Because right now, this issue is not faced by United States or people in China. It's a global issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, the whole generation. In the future, so I remember I saw a film talk about people. You know, one guy can have several robots. You know, they can working for you. They can, walk on the street for you.
Yeah.
They can shopping for you.
Walk your dog.
Yeah, they're dating for you. Because when we become old, right? It's not like we're not young anymore, but people may hope you look like young, very young, or look like very beautiful.
Yes.
So this is another choice, another life.
Right, and we're gonna have these robots in our homes,
Yeah.
in our offices.
Yeah.
They may become our companions in the
Yeah,
future,
yeah.
or our caretakers.
Mm.
We are entering this world now. How should we program these robots? What should be the limits? You know, there's really an interesting thing going on right now that a lot of people aren't talking about, and that is human beings right now are falling in love with AI. And when I say falling in love, they are developing very strong emotional connections to AI. And when they talk to it, they imagine it not as a machine, but as an intelligent, conscious being.
Yeah.
We know, because I'm an engineer and I understand the underlying technology. I know that AI is not conscious, not like we are, and it has no emotions like we have. However, millions of people now are on these applications, these AI applications where you get an avatar, and it could be a beautiful, like you say, a beautiful girl or a beautiful boy, and then they start chatting, and then they begin to form a relationship, and they become emotionally attached. These applications today are very primitive, but still people have this strong reaction. Imagine as we embody this technology in lifelike robots, humanoid robots, how people are going to feel.
Did you see the? I think it's a TV series called the West Park.
Oh, Westworld.
Westworld, yeah,
Yes,
Westworld.
yes,
Sorry,
yes, yes.
Westworld. It's actually nobody can tell this guy is a robot or a human being.
Yes.
Yeah, even that even the boss of the Westworld, they don't know.
They don't know.
They don't know themselves is a robot.
Yeah, they don't even know themselves. And so this has been science fiction for a long time.
But right now, becoming reality.
It's becoming reality. You look. There's an application called Replicant. And it was an AI dating application, companion application.
Okay.
And people became very attached chatting to it. They have like 10 million users, over 10 million users. People became so attached that the company had to change its algorithm. And when they changed their algorithm, because they got in trouble in Italy or something like this, and with the law, and they had to redo the algorithm, when they recoded the algorithm, created a new model, it changed the personality of the AI companion. People got so upset. They went on YouTube, they went on Reddit, and you can watch these videos if you search for them. There are people crying. They're crying, they're saying, "You killed my girlfriend!" And you may laugh, it's like crazy, right? But think about yourself. You read a book, a novel, and you know it's not real. But you feel real emotion, right? Because you can imagine those characters as real. You go to a movie, and you watch a movie, and
You cry.
you can cry, right? Human beings can cry at a movie. We know it's not real. It's the same with these applications. It doesn't have to be lifelike for us to fall in love with it. Because our brains can imagine that it is, can imagine the reality is, and create that reality. We are capable of that. Just like you can love a pet. All of these things. So people right now, like I said, are forming real strong emotional attachments to AI. And then we, as a society, have to think about, is this good for us? Is it bad for us?
Yeah.
And I want the students to answer these questions. Because a lot of them, they're doing studies now of teenagers.
Yeah.
When you're a teenager, it's a very tough time. It can be. Because you're going through all these emotional changes. You have relationships with your friends that you could be bullied, or you could fall in love, and then they drop you, or you could have questions about your own sexuality, or psychological questions, or your parents. You know who they're talking to now? Teenagers are talking to AI.
Yeah.
Because they're shy. They don't want to go to their parents. They don't want to tell their friends, right? It's too...
But I think the key point is their parents or brothers, they don't understand it.
They don't?
AI understand you.
No. See, this is the thing.
Yeah.
AI pretends to understand it.
Yeah.
because
they have algorithms.
AI can't really understand it because it's not a human being. It has never lived. It doesn't even know what life is.
That's right.
It's just regurgitating answers based on a mathematical formula, an algorithm, and the data it's been trained on. But it has actually no understanding of the person. Yet, it is the one guiding them. So we have to think, these are very complex issues.
Yeah.
What is the role of AI in this situation? What is good for a developing teenager?
I think right now it's just the beginning.
Yeah,
Because next generation robots, they will not only they have algorithms, for example, they're thinking your way, but in the future they're looking like beautiful and look like a real.
I know. Then I mean, right now they don't.
You have a robot girlfriend. Not only talk with them.
I know. Even this beginning level, though, because AI has gotten to the point now where it can simulate a real conversation as if you're talking to a real person. It feels very real. It feels more real than a novel or a movie. Because you can go back and forth, and it can remember now. AI can remember what you talked about yesterday and come back to that, just like a person does.
In the future, the AI will understand you better than yourself.
I totally agree. 100% agree. Because it will know everything about you and have data on you. Facebook did a study of AI, and they asked their users, okay, which video are you going to watch? Which article would you read? And people would say, no, I wouldn't read that article. I'd read this article. No, I'm not going to watch the cat video. I'm going to watch this documentary video. And you know what? They asked their AI, which one will they watch? Will they watch the cat video or the documentary video? And you know what? Who was right most of the time? The AI!
Yeah.
People didn't know because people said I wouldn't watch the cat video, but then they're watching it, right? The AI can look at what you actually do and know you better than yourself. Because we like to believe we're something we aren't. Human beings are great at fooling themselves. But the AI can't be fooled if it gets the right data.
In the future, maybe the AI can put the influence on the people. For example, what you call the brainwash.
I know. So these are issues that I'm very concerned about.
Yeah.
Because you can see once AI already, we go to ChatGPT now.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but you might go to Kimi or Doubao, it doesn't matter, right?
That's right. Yeah.
QN, whatever platform. We go on there and we are asking questions, all sorts of questions. Like I'll ask medical questions, and when it gives me an answer, I trust it. Right? I think, oh, that is the right medicine I should be taking. Or I have problems with legal, I'll ask it a question. Or even personal questions. Many people are going on with their relationship. How should I deal with my boyfriend? Or how should I deal with my wife? You know, what do I do in this situation?
Yeah.
We trust it. But AI is run by these companies. Huge companies. So let's take ChatGPT for instance. They are almost at, they have 900 million users now. Active weekly users. They are about to hit 1 billion. And they're going to go higher. Think about all these users, right? They're gathering all this data on every question they ask, all the answers, how they respond.
Yeah.
So their AI is getting smarter and smarter and smarter at knowing how we think, what we ask. At the same time, ChatGPT is rolling in advertisements.
Yes.
So they said that, Sam Altman said, we are going to do ads. We just have to figure out how. And they just launched ChatGPT Shopping. What does that mean, ChatGPT Shopping? It means right now you can go on ChatGPT, and when you ask about a product, was this product better than this? Or, tell me these 5 products, which one should I choose? Well, those products, ChatGPT is taking a revenue share whenever it can get. Now, the question is, right now, they probably aren't influencing the results.
Yes.
But will they be tempted to recommend or feature the products where they have the greatest revenue share in the future? And will they disclose that to the public?
So you mean actually in the future, for example, like OpenAI, they can manipulate
people to buy something because you trust it.
Yeah.
So if it lists 5 products and doesn't even talk about another one, then you're automatically zoned in on those 5, right?
Yeah.
And then if it recommends one over another, which is usually what we want to know, then we will most likely purchase that product. And they're getting a revenue share. So we have to ask ourselves, in the future we're moving into, what responsibility do they have at a social level? If they are recommending products, do they have to show us that they're getting paid by them? And who are they excluding? And why are they being excluded? All of this is open territory. We haven't figured it out yet.
You remember me another thing.
Yeah.
For example, in Canada, in the Home Depot.
Yeah.
The Home Depot put a lot of videos, so how to use something.
Yeah.
But when you locate the video and when you use the video to practical use, definitely later on you will buy something they recommend it.
Of course.
Because you don't have choice.
Yeah, because you're watching the video and they're recommending
Yeah, because if you use other products, may not work.
Might not work.
Yeah.
And same with ChatGPT. We have a great trust in these.
Yeah.
So the question is, do these platforms like ChatGPT or QA, are they going to work in society's benefit as private companies? I will tell you, I'm a little doubtful if Meta is any example. So Mark Zuckerberg, right? He literally, he's gathered lots of data on his users and continually prioritizes the company's profits over the user's privacy or over manipulating users.
Sure.
Have you heard of the latest scandal on Meta? There's
a
lot of scandals. There's a lot of scandals.
Yeah, a lot of them. Definitely, yeah.
But one of the big scandals that I just heard about, and this would reflect on their AI too, is that right now on Instagram and Facebook, they run lots of ads, right? Lots of ads. And these ads make all their money. However, every day, and this is what I read, every day, they are showing around 500 million ads that are scams. They're not, they're scams. They're complete scam ads. And when they were questioned about this, you're showing this huge number of scam ads. You know what they said, Facebook said? They said, well, we have an algorithm, and if that algorithm is 95% sure it's a scam, then we will contact the scammer and try to figure out if it's really a scam.
Wow, 95.
But if it's 94%, they do nothing. They do nothing. You know why? Because they're making lots of money.
Yeah.
So the question is, as these companies, as the profit incentive becomes higher and higher, billions and billions and billions of dollars, right?
Yeah.
And these AI, large language models that provide answers to us, but are also taking revenue share, and they're doing advertising, where do we draw the line? And will they be influenced and will they manipulate us to increase their profits? I think if they're run by somebody like Zuckerberg, they will definitely put profits over the public good.
For sure.
Yeah.
But like the OpenAI, right now, of course, before that, for example, like Elon Musk is thinking this should be the non-profit. But right now, they change the direction to the public interest.
Again, that's a total... Right, so there's Sam Altman and Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
They started OpenAI to be a non-profit for the good of humanity. And as soon as they saw the potential to make big money and gain a lot of power, they got rid of the non-profit. They fired the whole board. They replaced it with people of for-profit. So you can't look at these companies as altruistic. They are fundamentally motivated by two factors. Well, by their desire to make a lot of money, and the ego of their founders. Right? Their management team can gain more power.
But Sam Altman says he doesn't have any share in the OpenAI.
I think he said he didn't take any salary. He has OpenAI shares.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he's not taking a salary.
Okay.
I think that's what he said.
So, Steven, do you think we have any way to, for example, I'm not saying that to control. I'm not saying control. So any way to put the restriction or just
Well, the only one that has power is the government, where the company operates, wherever they operate, the governments.
But Steven, if they set up a company in the, for example, in the Caribbean,
well, then you could potentially block them.
Yeah.
But the bigger thing is we want these companies to operate. I mean, I believe in private enterprise.
Okay.
I think it's very important. I think a lot.
The
innovation we've seen has come out of these private companies, right?
Yes.
So the question is not to block them or stop them.
Mm-hmm.
It's to actually influence them to make the right decisions
Okay.
so that they are socially responsible.
But influence is not enough. I think it should be the kind of like a supervision.
Well, it's going to be a combination, you're right.
Combination.
So we have to have the government regulations,
Yes.
right? Smart regulation,
Yeah.
not clamping down too much, but
Yeah.
trying to figure out where that right balance is. And then we also have to have input from us, the people, the consumers, who actually use their products and services.
But the problem is, majority of the people they don't know.
They're not educated.
They're not realize the world is controlled by the.
That's exactly why I'm doing this nonprofit. Because I want to take our young people who have the most at stake here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Inform them of what's going on and have them approach the companies with solutions that can actually take these companies in a better direction and avoid.
If, for example, if they set up the company in the official jurisdiction, for example, like a Caribbean,
Yes. Cayman Island company.
So the only way the government can do is, for example, prevent citizens of the United States, or the permanent resident of the United States to get access to the website.
Yes.
But this is not true. They
That's-
have a whole bunch of ways.
There are a whole bunch of ways.
Yeah.
But let's face it, it's in the company's best interest
Yeah.
to cooperate with the government than to try to have the government block them in certain ways.
Yeah.
So most of the companies are going to cooperate with the government.
Okay.
So I think there's two levers, right? There's the government, which has a lot of power, but then we also need to educate the public so that the public will demand a level of social responsibility out of these companies so that they much higher than they are now. But the public can't do that if they're not educated, if we don't educate.
So another way maybe is like this. For example, we are asking, okay, you cannot force people to, but at least you should do some KYC. Should we?
Yes.
For example, the people, especially like the bigger company like OpenAI, like the Google, right? So they need to take the responsibility to do the KYC. For example, you cannot let everybody free speech without any without liability.
Yes.
So do you agree with what I say?
So, absolutely. All these things come down to a balance. In today's world, we have this big debate going on in the United States. You know, should we moderate content?
Yeah.
Should our social networks, like Facebook or Instagram or X, should they moderate what people say? And you see people take very different stances. So Elon Musk with X says anybody can say anything.
Okay, so no, with no inspection at all.
With very minimal moderation. But what we found on X is you get a lot of people doing hate speech.
Yeah.
You know, things, neo-Nazis, really extremist groups, also people spreading conspiracy theories, even about vaccines and other things that are very helpful. And it has seriously damaged the United States.
Yeah.
And you look at the United States, and even though all the science points to COVID vaccines being incredibly beneficial for the vast majority of people, there are people out there who are now in government, like RFK Jr., and he literally believes in conspiracy theories. So does Trump. They believe, because they've become so pervasive, they actually believe that, you know, the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine, which has saved literally 100 million lives, like it saved a huge number of lives, these vaccines, they want to ban them. They want to get rid of them. It's unthinkable. And all the science points to this vaccine is safe for children, and the benefits, you know, exponentially outweigh the risks. There are very few cases of risk and so many children's lives saved. Why would you do that? But this is information. People are only as smart as the information they receive. So if you receive information that has been manipulated, that is false, and the problem with these social networks is they propagate. They propagate whatever gets the most attention, right? They don't propagate based on truth. So if they amplify the messages that get the most attention. And the ones that get the most attention are the most outrageous, the craziest ideas, right? Because people are like, oh my God, is this true? And then they share, they repost it without even checking. And then all their friends, oh my God, is this true? And they go viral, they spread like crazy. So we're in a world where the algorithms are actually using now for social media in the United States are detrimental to society. And if you pull away the moderation, these algorithms just go haywire, right? Spreading all these conspiracy theories based on where there's no scientific evidence whatsoever. The preponderance of science goes in one direction, and then there's a few crazy people who, come up with this either fake science or these outline studies that haven't been verified. And they're given actually more credence than the valid ones because on social media they're so outrageous that people keep circulating them.
Do you think this kind of a problem can solved by AI? For example, we create some AI can, for example, identify which one is.
Absolutely. So this is the thing about AI. So AI is not the source of our problem. These problems exist. It's how AI and how social networks and these technologies are used. So it's not like, I'm not one to say ban AI. I think AI is fantastic. And it'll make us live longer, it'll make us live healthier, it can make us have incredibly good lives. If we use it in the right way. But if it's abused or used, in ways that people really aren't thinking deeply about the social repercussions, then we wind up with a situation where the AI can be very detrimental. So we need to put in place social structures to actually help our society understand the power of AI and then how to apply it in the right way. And like you're saying, AI can be used in a really good way to actually weed out this content.
AI is just a tool.
It's just a tool.
It's not a purpose.
No, and it's a very powerful tool if used in a good way.
So I think the future of the AI right now is, this is not the responsibility of my generation, right?
It is yours. It's all of our responsibility. We created this problem.
So that means that you mean that we created the problem, we must solve the problem, right?
We must at least help the young people solve it. We can't just say it's your problem. We're going to retire now.
I think this is a very interesting topic. And let me just go to some of the detail industries. For example, recently I found an industry very hot. For example, like a musician and also singing. For example, right now it's AI. It's AI. It's not a human being.
I know. You can't even tell the difference. You cannot tell the difference. The AI music is pretty amazing.
It's better than human being.
It can be a lot better. And the AI can spin up these songs. Like it might take a human weeks to write a good song. The AI can do it in seconds. And then it can try 1,000 variations and see which one gains traction, which one goes viral.
I think in the future, especially in the entertainment industry, will be changed in its landscape. For example, like in the future, maybe Taylor Swift is not more popular. It's AI.
So this is the thing. It has the power to do that, and we can already see it's being used in movies, it's being used in short videos, it's being used to create music. Suno.ai, pretty amazing tool. There's still something humans want, and that is, if we know it's AI, we instantly become less interested.
Steven, tell me, which the human being better than AI?
No, it's not better. It's not better or worse. But let's say I go to a concert.
You mean the feeling?
Let's say I go to a concert. Do I want to watch a robot singing a song on stage, or do I want to watch a real human being from their heart, knowing those lyrics reflect their personal experience singing the song? I personally, and I think most people would feel this way, we would prefer to see humans.
But the problem is, how can you distinguish this is human being or not?
It's an easily solvable problem. The companies that control the media have to label it. And have to label it accurately. So they have to tell us if this is AI generated or human generated.
You mean this is a legal requirement?
It's not a legal requirement, but I think if we want to value human creation
Yeah.
and expression, and we want to consume music created by humans, not just by an algorithm,
Oh, okay.
then it's something that either we would demand as consumers, it could be legislated by the government, but either we would demand as consumers, or the companies would decide this is the right thing to do,
Okay.
to label these.
Okay. But for the most people, what I mean, it's not for just, for example, people like you and me or some people. I mean, most of the people, they don't care.
But let me say it a different way. I'm going to be the devil's advocate here, because I really believe this. Taylor Swift is more than her music. People become Swifties, these crazy fans of Taylor Swift, not just because her songs are good.
Okay.
Right? They become Swifties because of her story, because of her, because they fall in love with who she is, what she represents as a person. She is, if she were just an algorithm, and people found out, I guarantee you they wouldn't be crazy fans of her. They might enjoy the song, when they didn't know it was created by AI, but they wouldn't become the type of fans they are. And so where entertainment is headed in the future, I think entertainment is one of the safer fields. Like, if you want to keep your job, actually, if you're an accountant, you're going away. If you're a contract lawyer, you're going away. You're not going to have any work. Okay. If you're a graphic artist, it's going to be really hard to have a job. But if you are a musician, I think there won't be a room for a lot of them, right? Because we don't have that many famous musicians. There's only a limited number. But if you're a musician and you have a really compelling story, you have a very compelling personality, and you create great music, people are going to gravitate towards you. Okay. You're going to be, even in a world of total AI, we want stories and people that we can identify with. And the AI simulations, although they may create even better content, once we know they're AI, that emotional connection won't be there.
So you mean that for the public character, for example, like a musician, like a politician?
A musician, a writer, a politician, an actor. We're still going to want our actors not all to be AI, right? Okay. We're going to want to feel, because when you fall in love with a star, you want to believe that's a real person. You read all the articles about their life and their marriage and their divorce and their affairs. Why do people do this? Because they want real people. So at a fundamental level, that won't change, because that's part of who we are as human beings. Okay. Yes, we'll have competition from these AI at creations, and they'll do a very good job. But what I think the smart business people will do, and we all know all the entertainment industry is controlled by business, they will literally, what they're doing right now, is they take these brands, these people, and they augment them with AI. Right? So you're going to have Taylor Swift sing a song. You will think she might have written the lyrics. AI might have written the lyrics. You might think it's a human band that actually wrote the song, the AI, but then they have a human band play it. So what we're going to see is they're going to leverage AI, but put the human rapper on top of it.
You mean that mix together?
Yeah, that's the future of entertainment. That's where we're going with entertainment.
I think it's so what you say is absolutely right. This is but in the future, maybe this is only. I mean, the industry.
No, there will be other industries. So I guarantee you, if you want a steady job in a world dominated by AI robots that are humanoid, that can do every other job perfectly, become a priest. Okay. If mortality is a thing, we want to believe in heaven and in a soul, you're not going to just want to talk to an AI about it. You're probably going to want to go to, a priest. There will be certain roles where being human creates value. Even in this hotel, when I go to the elevator in the hotel we're in now, they have a human on the ground floor who's literally standing there to press the button and hold the hotel door open. Why do they have this human? It's all automated. I can just walk in and press the button. They want to show a level of luxury in this hotel and hospitality by having a human there. So in the hospitality industry, again, we could have AI may serve you at McDonald's, right? Already when you go to McDonald's, you press the little buttons, right? And you order your meal yourself, you scan the QR code. But at a high-end restaurant, you will have human waiters.
That's right.
So there in the hospitality and luxury businesses, we will still want humans. So there will be a whole industry where human presence is valued, either just by being a human and being there and pressing the elevator button, or by being creative, right? Like if you buy a painting and you know it was painted by a robot, you're going to be like, why do I want this painting? They can just paint 100. But if you know the painting or the piece of pottery was made by a human, you'll pay a lot more for it.
Yeah.
Right? You'll be like, and this artist has a story and a reputation, and you'll pay even more.
Yeah.
So that, I think, will continue. Now, that doesn't mean everybody will have jobs. Because, honestly, we are moving into a future where not everybody can be a famous singer, not everybody can be, an artist that creates great things.
So, do you think that, for example, right now we are talking about the artificial intelligence will replace like 85 to the 95% of the job? And do you think in the future AI will create more job for people?
No, I think AI will change the nature of work.
Or change the landscape?
Yeah, but the actual number of jobs will gradually and then rapidly diminish.
Okay.
So right now we're in the gradual diminishing of jobs.
Okay.
But they'll hit a point where these humanoid robots become fully functional. Right now, even AI agents leave a lot to be desired. Right? I work with them, and I see all the flaws in these agents. They're not ready to take over most jobs. They are really, most AI agents today can take over a piece of your job. They can do certain functions well.
Okay.
But these will broaden out. As these will broaden out, and the agents will become much more capable. And at a certain point, we'll hit this inflection point where, boom, all of a sudden, these agents and these AI-embodied robots will be capable of doing most everything we do.
Right.
It could be 5 years in the future, 10 years. It's going to happen.
So Elon Musk said that in the future, artificial intelligence will have the capacity to meet all requirements of the human being globally.
Yeah, it'll be able to do everything but the stuff we described before, which is be human.
I mean,
it won't be able to be human.
But remember, this is only we only need, for example, like 10% or 20% of people total population, and what is the rest 80% of people doing?
I thought a lot about that. I thought about that.
What is your result?
So most people in the future won't have a job as we know jobs now. You won't need to work for a living.
Okay.
You won't need, because we have to have some other universal basic income or some sort of government grant to people to survive. There has to be that. So we won't have jobs just to work. Okay. What we will have is activities we do for ourselves and our loved ones and our community.
Okay.
So there will be and this is where AI can actually enhance our lives. So instead of working like crazy our whole life to earn money and to get promoted and to maybe gain some respect from other people, we will have the freedom to actually do what matters most to us.
Okay.
So for some people, it could be spending much more time with their kids. Really spending time with their kids or their parents who are aging, or spending time with their friends, or traveling, or studying Buddhism, or creating artwork, or writing, or studying philosophy. All of these things will be open to us to do. And honestly, think about a future where you don't have to work. What would matter most to you? Well, if we build a great society, which I would like us to build, we would spend less time caring about ourselves, right? Like trying to get more for ourselves, more money, more respect, more power. And we would spend more time caring about other people. So we actually, if our society, right now our society rewards the people who get the most highest level status, the most power, the most money. It all equates to like respect. But in the future, we won't need to respect that because money won't really matter. We won't need jobs. So we may be able to develop a society where the more you do for those people around you, the more respect you get. The more you do for your community, the more you do for your friends, your family, your whatever groups you belong to. These will earn you respect. And people, I tell you, as human beings, all of us want to feel wanted. All of us want to feel like we are valued by our fellow human beings. This is how we grew up in tribes, right? The
Yeah.
ones in our structure were social animals.
Yeah.
We grew up in small tribes, and the value we contribute to the tribe was our survival was based on that. So our brains are literally genetically programmed to want other people to like us and respect us,
Yes.
and us to feel secure within our groups. So we will be able to express this in a very different way, by caring for people, by helping them, by contributing. If we reimagine society like this, we could create a really beautiful world.
Okay.
A much more beautiful world than we have today.
But still, they still have another
Yeah.
problem here.
Yeah.
For example, we take care of kids, we take care of your parents,
Yeah.
right? But remember, AI also can take care of your kids, take care of your parents.
Yeah, so certain people will, but taking care of your parents isn't just feeding them or kids feeding them.
You mean
It's actually giving them love.
Okay.
Giving them love, doing things with them, spending time getting to know your child, to understand them, taking them places, having experiences with them, with your parents. It's not about just,
Do something for
just educating them or feeding them. It's about that emotional connection. We're emotional beings.
Yeah.
We already know AI, if you study it at a very deep level, it is a statistical machine. It has no emotion. It is literally as emotional as your toaster oven. Even though even though the AI may tell you, I love you, I mean, it's the same as your toaster oven saying, I love you, right? What we will want is those deep emotional connections that make us human. And a life that is rich, right, in these relationships. They've done studies, and they've found that the happiest people in the world are not the people with the most money, they're not the people with the highest careers, they're not the people with the most power, or the most possessions. They are the people who have the strongest network of friends, who really care and family and love them. Those are the people who feel the most secure in who they are, the most secure in their life, and are really the happiest people. We have a chance to use AI to achieve this goal. That is what I would like us to do with it. Like, it's an amazing technology. If it can't make our life better, get rid of it.
That's right.
Get rid of it. Like, we don't need it. We don't want AI to make us depressed and unemployed and feeling bad about ourselves. That's not the purpose of this technology. So we, as a society now, we need to rise up and take on the challenge to figure out how can we take this incredibly powerful technology and make all of our lives better than we could have ever imagined.
You're just talking about this. We make decisions that we want to have technology serve out.
Yeah.
And we don't want to, for example, make the medicine. And the key point is who is in the driver's seat?
That's another question.
Yeah.
And that's where you get like Dr. Hinton, and he says AI will take over, it's very dangerous. Well, as part of our challenge right now for humanity, our greatest challenge we have ever faced, we have to figure out two things. One, how to make AI serve us better, right, in all respects, make our lives richer, more meaningful, make our relationships stronger, not weaker, with other human beings. And then we also have to figure out how to keep AI, which is going to become so smart, it can potentially dwarf our own intelligence, and so integrated in society that it can control our entire economy and our lives. We have to make sure that this machine, which actually has no emotion, is just a machine, does not misfire, does not malfunction, and actually go off the rails and do something catastrophic to humanity. So both of those goals need to be the most important things we do. So we need to figure that part out too. And that part is even harder, right? How can you control a machine that potentially is twice as smart as you? We look at us and a monkey, right? We used to be at that intelligence level, but we evolved, and now we're much smarter than monkeys. Monkeys still intelligent for an animal, right? They can use tools, they can talk, they can do all these things, but we are so much smarter than a monkey. Now, what chance does that monkey have of controlling us? Nothing, right? If AI becomes so much smarter than us, will we be the monkey? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. And how can we prevent ourselves from being the monkey?
Yeah, this is a question I'm asking you. Say that.
Now, I'm supposed to solve all these problems?
No, I'm not saying. So, for example, right now, definitely in the future, that privacy or that control will belong to the big company. For example, like OpenAI.
I have ideas around this.
Uh-huh.
So the problem with AI gaining control is that if AI is horizontally integrated across all of our services, our governments, our institutions, AI is horizontally integrated, like these big platforms like OpenAI's ChatGPT, right? They're being integrated across everything, every application.
Yeah.
The problem is if that application, that platform becomes incredibly smart, right? Which is the goal. Sam Altman said, our goal is to hit AGI, which is artificial general intelligence.
Yeah.
He wants, and then super intelligence, where it's smarter than human beings. That's the intended goal. If it happens, it's going to be very hard to control because it's so integrated across so many parts of our society that it can literally take control. However, if we silo AI, if we keep AI narrowly focused and we have clear barriers between different AIs that serve different functions and they aren't allowed to collaborate too deeply, where we have humans in the loop in the middle that can isolate them, then we can maintain control. That is one possible way. However, that's not the direction we are going in. We are going in the opposite direction.
That's right. So I mean that right now we see some trend. For example, in the future, the artificial intelligence will integrate with the operating system.
Oh yeah, it'll become the operating system.
For example, your computer,
everything.
your mobile phone, your iPad, your for example, your automobile.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a very
and it'll be concentrated in a few companies. There are only going to be a few winners.
That's right.
They're not going to be hundreds of companies controlling it. They're going to be a few large platforms.
For example, right now, that beside of that, this is for why we talk about operating level integration, right? So another very important issue in the future is the infrastructure.
Yeah. So how do we build out the
data center?
Yeah.
Data center, and beyond the data center is the power. It's the energy.
Yes.
So in the future, who control the data center? Actually, so no matter how strong your model is, large language model, that actually is controlled by the data center eventually.
Yes. So who controls the data center? Well, right now the data centers are being vertically integrated with the large companies. Yeah, the OpenAIs of the world,
like
the Alibabas of the world.
Stargate right now, they're spending like $500 billion US.
Yes, and that's just the beginning. Yeah. So they're being vertically integrated, so they have horizontal and vertical integration, right? That's what they're doing. And what we're seeing is that a few companies are going to become incredibly powerful. And they are becoming incredibly powerful. That's why OpenAI, look, its valuation now, I think, is over $800 billion. That's what it is.
They say there will be, once they become an IPO, there will be the 100,000.
$1 trillion.
$1 trillion.
So they want to IPO at $1 trillion. But it's hard to imagine they IPO at $1 trillion because they're already going to hit like 900 billion, and nobody wants a 10% bump, right? So they have to have more than $1 trillion IPO.
Yeah.
And even then, the capital markets, could they even absorb that? That's a big question. The real fundamental issue, though, is this power is being concentrated in very few companies.
That's right.
Very few companies are gaining so much power over our future, and what responsibility do they have to society? So there's going to be two views by government, right? One view is we're just going to let these heads of these companies, whether it's Sam Altman or Elon Musk, we're going to, or whoever it is, Mark Zuckerberg, we're just going to let them do what they do because they have so much money and so much power, they're going to buy the politicians.
Yeah.
Or those companies may be nationalized. They may become utilities, national utilities. And I could see this happen.
Okay.
That is a possibility.
Okay, become another kind of the utility.
Yeah, literally the government. They become an arm of the government. They become an arm of the government. The government literally nationalizes because they're so powerful.
Yeah.
So those are kind of two options. And then is there a third option somewhere in the middle where we actually make sure these companies distribute their power more evenly? They don't become, so controlling of everything we do, but then we don't have the governments totally control them. There is a middle ground. We need to figure out what that is and what the best scenario for that is.
Can be another possibility, for example, they just doing the physical infrastructure. Logically make it, for example, like a distributed or decentralized.
Yeah, so could we do that? Potentially. If you look at kind of the crypto world, and you're into crypto, I've studied crypto for a long time. Decentralization is great in certain scenarios. Like we see it works really well for Bitcoin, for cryptocurrencies. But when corporations try to adopt decentralized systems, it goes against everything they are. So it never works for most corporations, for most things.
Right.
All the experiments fail because most corporations want control. And most governments want control. They want things centralized. So when you say decentralization, yes, it could work, but most companies and everything, they don't want it decentralized. They want absolute control. They want companies want monopolies. Let's face it. That they're all predicated on getting monopoly. That means as much vertical and horizontal integration as possible, as much control, not decentralization as possible. Same with government. So when you look at these systems, they always gravitate, the gravity is towards centralization. And that creates the danger, right? Because you have all this power centralized in a few hands, and ultimately the AI itself may take control if it's all centralized. Would I like to see a more decentralized system where we have checks and balances, where we have ways of stopping the AI from doing things, humans in the loop, and barriers? I think we would be smart to implement that. But I don't know if we're going to, as a human race, be able to do that. Because that would require, it would go against all the current structures we have for capitalism that we've set in place, that are in motion right now.
Wow. So it seems that in the future it's not controlled by us. I mean, for example, like a big company.
There are two scenarios in the future. Either a handful of companies, and the individuals who control the majority of those shares of those companies, like Elon Musk, will have enormous amounts of power. They already do, right? But they'll have even more. Or the government. Those are the two players. If you look at in a real world scenario, those are the only two.
But you say the government can buy by the other parts.
Well, in different countries, you'll have different scenarios. Right. So where the government has more power, the government will probably control the companies. Where the government has less power, the companies
will control the government.
may control the government. Right. Through, like in the United States, it would happen through campaign donations and putting people in place. Like J.D. Vance is literally buddies with Elon Musk and the big venture capitalists in Silicon Valley. He's basically, he came out of, the venture firm, Founders Fund.
So let's go back to technology. So we're talking about the infrastructure, for example, like energy side, and also like the IDC and the AI IDC side. Because right now it's most limitation actually come from the power and also AI IDC.
Huge problem.
So
China is actually much better prepared for that.
So what is your proposal?
I would say the Chinese government actually prepared much better for energy use across the board. Because China has transitioned to solar and wind power at a much faster rate. China controls the production of most of these solar cells and wind power companies. China has EV vehicles at a much higher rate. And China electricity costs are lower. They're lower. And the Chinese government is stepping in and subsidizing the AI companies, actually giving them power at less cost. The US has the opposite. So our energy infrastructure is antiquated, We have not kept up with it. We have not invested in it at the level that we should have. We have, even more so today, under Trump, backed away from solar and wind power.
Yeah.
He's literally killing our wind power projects,
Yeah.
killing the solar projects, not funding them at a time when we absolutely need them. So we're in this position now where our energy costs are going up and up.
Yeah.
And consumers in the United States, especially people not earning a lot of money, they're getting very upset.
Wow.
So we're having this backlash at a political level where people are saying, all these tech companies are building these data centers that are driving up our costs to build this AI. We're not getting any benefit from this. We're not getting many jobs, like almost no jobs, and we're paying double the electricity costs.
Yeah.
This isn't fair. So, and the U.S. government isn't in the business of subsidizing electricity for businesses. So the consumers are taking the brunt of the pain here. What does this mean? This is only going to get worse. And in the US, we have another problem. In China, if you want a new power plant built, the government snaps its fingers. It's done, right?
Yeah.
In the US, you have to go through a huge process to build a new power plant, which can take a decade just to get all the issues resolved, because we have the courts and people and the communities, and they're all saying, not in my backyard, I don't want this. So now they're saying, the Holy Grail, this is what they're saying. We'll build these mini fusion reactors, right? And we'll put them all across the country. Trump just announced it.
Yeah, that's right.
This is his new initiative. I think that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, first of all, because this technology is still unproven. It's in the experimental stage. These mini reactors, we haven't built them at scale. We haven't, the prototypes are just coming out.
Yeah.
It's going to take a decade to figure out these fusion reactors and get them to the point where they can really deliver a meaningful percentage of the electricity need we have.
Yeah.
So really, the best area for us to do is solar and wind, which we're going the opposite direction, unfortunately. What the tech companies are caught in a bottom. So they're getting this backlash too. We don't want these data centers in our community because it's going to drive up our power costs. Nobody wants them. So what are they doing? A lot of them now are looking overseas. So like Malaysia has a lot of hydropower in Malaysia. Yeah. So they're literally like OpenAI and Google and stuff. They're literally looking at places like Malaysia and saying, let us build our data centers there. We have to, we literally have to go outside the United States to build a lot of these data centers simply because the energy problem.
Yeah, yeah.
But where there's money, they will find a way. I guarantee you, they will find a way.
Yeah.
So they're going to be figuring this out. So my prediction is the U.S. will have to reinvigorate its solar and wind. We already are doing a lot in the fossil fuels. We're already maxing those out. So that's already happening. But then we'll also have to look abroad to other cheaper energies.
Okay, so I think it's 2 months or 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And in the Saudi Arabia, right? They were building a huge IDC. It's OpenAI, right?
Yeah,
OpenAI,
where?
Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
yeah, again, that's another area.
Yeah.
Because they have, cheap energy.
Yes.
You can build it in Saudi Arabia. So the Saudi and UAE and Dubai, well, especially Saudi Arabia has a lot of oil, right? So they and their prince is very proactive in courting technology. Yeah. He's pumping billions and billions of dollars into building an ecosystem. So they are naturally saying, bring your data centers to us.
Sure. In terms of the AI data center, so what is the future direction of the AI data center? For example, do you believe, for example, they put the AI data center in the space or in the ocean, or we go through the, for example, like a distribution way?
That's a great question. The biggest thing is energy costs. And the biggest part of energy is cooling these data centers. Because these chips, these NVIDIA chips, throw off a lot of heat.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out ways to cool them at a lower cost. I know that Microsoft and others have been experimenting with building data centers below the ocean. Yeah. Right, so the ocean itself cools them. There's other options of going up north to Arctic regions and literally building data centers in very cold climates so that they're cooled year-round
Yeah.
by natural means.
Mm.
These are all possibilities. So, and then launching in space, who knows? I mean, if the cost comes down enough, if SpaceX and others can deliver these payloads at a low enough cost, and it makes sense, the transmission and everything, the bandwidth is there,
Yeah.
maybe. But I still think it's going to be far cheaper to figure out how to do it on Earth than anytime soon, than in outer space. So I really think our best options are places like Malaysia with lots of hydropower, or maybe Iceland with the geothermal energy, or the Arctic where it's naturally cool, places like that may be what we end up resorting to.
But I think the central data centers have some problem because almost all the AI application is nearby you and nearby me. For example, automobile.
If they get farther away, we get latency issues.
And also your daily, for example, your robot, your home, they need a computer power. You cannot sit just from the north part of the earth come to here.
The information.
So whatever called edge.
Well, if they have fiber optic cables stretching,
still too complex. I mean the edge. I think it's maybe the edge computing will be the edge AI. Will become the very
edge AI, the small language models that are local on devices.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
those have a lot of advantages. They have the advantages of being much faster response. Right, they're literally on the device. You don't have any latency waiting for them. They have the advantage of low power requirements. A lot of these models are becoming very efficient. They can run on a cell phone or an IoT device. They're very good for certain applications like agriculture, where you might want them out in the field, or places where you don't have a data connection, like way out in the ocean, or in remote rural places. Very valuable. Places that you want security, like in a bank, let's say, you don't want to upload it to the cloud. At the same time, I think these are going to be used, or more narrow purpose AIs.
Okay.
The more general purpose AIs.
Okay, you mean the vertical industry?
Yeah, so vertical application, right? So if it's an agriculture application, you don't need all the, you don't need this huge large language model. You could just need that specific data. If it's in a hospital and you're doing in surgery with an AI, you may not want to rely on an internet connection in the middle of surgery, but all you need is the data to do the surgery.
That's right.
So these type of medical devices and things like that are perfect for small language models. But where you talk about AI becoming really intelligent, really understanding at a deep level, communication skills, reasoning, that's still where the innovation will be in the cloud, because it only makes sense in the cloud. So for the most powerful AIs that solve like most of our big problems and do our deep thinking, our reasoning that we're seeing now, those are still going to continue to be cloud-based. I don't see those moving.
But you say that, for example, we are talking about the AI computed power. In the future will become infrastructure, like hydro, like electricity.
Could become,
And you plug in, then you buy something. For example, right now the cell. For example, token by token. Right? You buy the 100 million talk. How much money? And that way, so make what we call they were available everywhere. For example, today we are here. We just plug in. We get a token. Otherwise, we'll get another token. So this way, I mean, actually, so we will have an industry layout. I mean, we have an industry. This guy just, building and investment building and operated the infrastructure. You think in the future this is the case or not? We have a dedicated industry provided infrastructure for us, AI infrastructure.
Well, I think the AI infrastructure will come in these big cloud platforms, and that will be, everybody will plug into them, and there'll be a few dominant ones that provide most of the service, and then we'll have smaller language models that reside on local devices, narrowly focused.
Can government, for example, because in the United States, the regulations not allow big company doing the vertical integration. Any possibility, for example, in the China? So right now, for example, we have a telecom operation. We have 5.
I know.
Then we separated the telecom operate with the what I call the tower operation. they have a company called tar company.
Yeah.
They're just building the tar. They do nothing.
Right.
Every operator can use the tar to do the operation.
We have the same thing with our telecom company. So we have a few, like 4 major players.
Yeah.
And then all the rest are MVNOs, which means there are companies that operate on top of the 4 major players.
Yeah.
They don't actually own the infrastructure.
Yeah.
We're going to see the same thing in AI.
I mean, this is what I am saying.
We're the same
In the future, will same happen.
Yeah, same thing. We're going to have a handful of major players, and everybody else will build on top.
But right now, the problem is, for example, like AI. On the one side, they make investment in the infrastructure. On the other side, they investment in the large language model. Then on the other side, they build an application. For example, like a robot, like some application in the AI.
Yes. So I see it breaking down into pieces. I actually think the piece that is the core infrastructure, the data centers, at some point could become like a utility, right?
Yeah,
that
that's what I say. Yeah.
Literally everybody uses. The R&D on the side of developing the large language models, these will be companies, right?
Or even company.
Yeah. So there may be a point where the U.S. government says, in order to keep the costs under control and for national security, we're going to provide the core data centers. We're going to figure that out. They may have, Trump is already setting up this new group to build out data centers and provide computing for the government.
But this is only for government, for public interest, right?
Right.
For the private sector.
Yeah. So in U.S., we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But there'll probably be a consolidation around a few major players. So even if they're privately owned, it'll kind of be like a utility.
Okay. Now we go to another question.
Yes.
If the AI really replace like 95% of the job.
Yes.
So because we are talking about the people without it, we call it jobless.
Yes.
Jobless of course the basic scenario is you have money. You can do everything you want.
Yes.
You have a freedom. You have options. Right?
Yes.
This is a good thing.
Yes.
But how about the poor people?
This is the question every society has to deal with now. When 95% of the jobs are eliminated, are all 95% of the people treated equally? Do they all receive the same universal basic income?
No way.
Can they all afford the same lifestyle? How is this possible? And also, some people will have accumulated savings, so they'll own a share of these AI companies. So they'll be at a different class than other people, and a few people will be extremely, extremely wealthy. Controlling the predominant AI and infrastructure companies. How do we structure society? What type of world do we want? And how do people have value? Feel like they're important in a world where they literally have no real power, right? Because they don't really have power over much. Only a handful of people will have power over most of this, most of what we're building today because of the consolidation of power. If we don't address these issues, they can become very serious problems, and it could create a very serious backlash. Like you look at the United States now. And they're like Senator Bernie Sanders. He is saying we have to stop AI from developing. We have to, he's going all out to basically say we have to stop the consolidation of power. And then even on the MAGA side, the Republican side, there are a lot of people now, because it's a populist movement. And most of the voters on MAGA, the majority of them are poor. They're not.
Middle Eastern.
They're middle, lower class. And so they're being dramatically affected by this. So those two sides are actually coming from a point of view saying this AI is not good for us. We have to stop it. But then you have, of course, other groups and the industrialists, the capitalists saying, no, we have to. And our national security saying, no, we have to. So we're going to have these competing forces. The real question is, especially in a country like the United States, is how do we navigate this? How can we plan a future that makes it benefit, where everybody feels invested in artificial intelligence? Honestly, what we would like is for everybody to be shareholders in these companies. So if we have a company like OpenAI that is literally powering the world, literally providing the intelligence for the world, for all of our machines, for all of our production, for everything we do. Shouldn't we all own a share of that? Shouldn't we all benefit from that? Shouldn't we all be paid dividends out of that company to all people? But then you have our capital system as it exists now, and that sounds more like socialism. So it was funny. Karl Marx envisioned a worker's paradise, right? A worker's paradise where everybody would work because they love their job and they want to contribute to society, and we would create a fair world for everybody. Well, we're moving into a future which isn't what Karl Marx envisioned. It's a worker's paradise of robots, where these robots are more than happy to work for no wages, right? Just for the love of working, right? And then we have to ask, well, what do humans do? What can we create a paradise for humans? What do we want out of this? But ultimately, I think the core intelligence and things like this have to be in some way shared with the majority of the population.
But I totally agree with you. However, who is in charge of the distribution, and what is the way to distribution?
Yes, how do we do
This
that?
is the key point here.
So right now, if you have money, you can buy into these companies, right?
Okay.
So you can you could get a share if you have money. But if you're poor today, you're not going to have that opportunity. So to your question, exactly, what do the poor people do? They won't own shares of OpenAI. They won't own shares of AMD or NVIDIA or any of these infrastructure companies. How are they able to participate in this revolution, this dramatic revolution, which will create a lot of wealth? They won't.
I think Sam Altman makes the good proposal.
What?
For example, like WorldCoins, everybody, that once you pass the what you call the IRIS certification, you will get money monthly by month.
Yeah, but who's going to pay this money? So at the end of the day, the money doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from, it's a cycle, right? Producing and consumption, right? But producers, manufacturing goods and services.
I think he's expect, for example, the price of the WorldCoin
to go up.
Going up.
Yeah, but if it goes up, investors have to invest money in it. And if you're poor, you're not going to invest money in it.
Okay.
You're going to be given one WorldCoin. But then if you want to get money, if you want to get money
Sam
out of
Altman proposed, he said, you don't need to put any money, so we just give away.
Yeah, okay, you give me my WorldCoin.
Yeah.
Now I have it, but I want to get real money, so I have to sell it.
Yeah.
Then I don't have it anymore. And I don't produce. So you know what they happen? A lot of these companies, like let's take Russia for example, right? Or even Great Britain. A lot of these companies were nationalized, and they gave shares to all these poor people in Russia. When the big transition happened away from communism, they nationalized all these state-owned businesses, and they gave shares. You know what happened? The oligarchs came in and said, "We'll buy up your shares." And the poor people sold them for almost nothing. Because they needed money. They had no, they needed money, so they sold their shares for almost nothing. So it just reconcentrated.
Eventually, all the share, again.
So all those world coins, they're just going to get sold for nothing, and some rich people will end up controlling it. This is the problem. It can't happen through our traditional capitalistic mechanisms. The poor people don't just get money from nowhere. The only way poor people have ever risen up is if they educate themselves, get a job, and work their way up the capitalist system. But in a future where there are no jobs, that path is closed, so they're not going to be able to do that. So what is the other way for them to get money? It's the government. It's the only way.
From government.
It's the only way. There's no other way to hand them money.
How about the charity?
Charity has to get its money from somewhere, right?
Okay.
So if Elon Musk is going to write his $760 billion or however much he's worth to charities and give away to people, that'll happen. I don't think he's going to do that.
Definitely.
But somebody at the end, we have to figure out either how to tax these AI companies as they create the products and services and redistribute that wealth through tax, or we have to nationalize them as public utilities, and then everybody get dividends from them. But it all amounts to something similar.
This is a question. Go back to another question.
Yes.
Who is in charge of the distribution? Even the government, they need somebody to do the distribution.
You mean to control these?
I mean, once the government collected money and for example, we put the infrastructure company become belong to the government, right?
Yes.
So you gotta be somebody to distribute the money to the people, to individuals.
Well,
this is clear.
We have a whole system for
Yeah.
sending money already in the world. I mean, you can do it through the conventional banking system, or in the United States, most people have bank accounts. Right. So the distribution mechanisms are there.
Yeah, that's what I did. Physically.
Those are there.
Yeah.
We don't need to reinvent
Yeah,
those.
technical side, yeah.
Those are there,
Yeah.
so they can just be used.
Yeah.
That's the easy part. The hard part is getting people to give up.
Yeah.
Like if you're Elon Musk, he's going to fight tooth and nail, I guarantee you, not to give up his power. Because that's what makes him Elon Musk, right? That he is the richest person, that he controls all this. And he thinks he knows best. He thinks he knows best for the world, so he's not going to want to give that up. So we're going to see how that plays out.
This is a very difficult question.
So what I'm worried about is radicals on either side. Like I'm a centrist.
Okay.
Like, so if you know my politics, I'm right in the middle. Like I believe in not going to extremes on either side. In reality, right in the middle is what works. So if I want to see a world where I say I don't work for a traditional company manufacturing something or providing a service because AI and robots do all that. But I want to work to beautify my community. I want to work to make my parks more beautiful. I want to work to create murals on the walls.
Yeah.
How can we reward somebody for doing that? I want to help my parents, they're aging, or take care of my kids. How do we reward somebody for doing that?
Yeah.
I want to create new forms of art that I can share with the world. How do we reward you for doing that? We want to create a world where social behaviors that are positive get rewarded. So we're all given a base level of income for survival, but then we can improve our status and our position by giving back to society in positive ways. This is what I want to see us construct. Have we constructed this? No, we've never had this experiment before, where 95% of our population didn't have work.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really a great experiment. When I talked about forming the Captain's Future Foundation, this is our mission, is to get young people thinking about this problem that you just raised. I want our young people imagining the future of our world. What type of world do they want to live in? Well, who's going to create it? We need to start thinking now, because as you know, it's not going to be easy. We're going to need a lot of creative people to restructure. Literally, I think we need to rebuild our society from the ground up. So how can all of the countries of the world create a society where we are rewarded not for producing goods and services, but we are rewarded for helping humanity, helping our neighbors, helping each other? How can we do that? I'm sure we can do it. I'm sure we can create a system that does it. We're very creative creatures.
Yeah.
But we have to design and architect this.
Yeah. So actually, right now, I think the production is not a problem, because production really...
Yeah, that's not a problem. That'll take care of itself.
But I mean, the relationship, the economic relationship is another big problem.
Yes.
Right? So because, for example, right now, everything in the world actually is centralized. For example, like a bank, like the stock market, and like the government, like the company, right? So everything we talk about actually is centralized. So what do you think in the future will be going to the decentralized?
Well, I think historically, everything tends to converge around centralization.
Okay.
Really, if you look at most of the world's institutions and everything else, I don't know a single one that has scale that is decentralized. Everyone has central. It's just the way we've been structured, the way humans function.
Okay.
From the earliest times, you see, we've had what systems took hold? Monarchies, right? Monarchies, you can't get more centralized than a monarchy.
Yeah.
Centralization, even in the United States, which is a democracy, there's a centralized power there. These large corporations, these politicians who move up through the system of funding, it's really a plutocracy. The United States is not a democracy, it is a plutocracy.
Yeah.
We kind of say we're a democracy, but it's really a plutocracy. You look at what's probably going to function in the future, it's similar. We just have to make sure that system is accountable to the people, or responsive to the people. And it's like in China. You always had emperors throughout the history of China, but you also had the heavenly mandate, right? Which meant that the people have to be happy, right? And if there's drought or famine or war or other things, the emperor would lose their power. This is Chinese history. Chinese has always been very, very centralized. In fact, more hierarchical than the West. I don't see the world moving away from that. We could imagine a system that is different, but when you imagine something and what it really is, are two different realities.
I think it's from the political side and the economic side it's difficult. But how about it? We go through another direction, for example, from the technical point of view. Whether we use the smart contract to implement it, we use a DAO to.
So I love the idea of crypto. I love the idea of decentralization. I've seen, crypto right now. It's a great example of decentralization for currency. And we've seen DAOs, but we haven't seen any of these have a big impact socially, right? They've been a great way for people to make money and to move money around the world. It's been really powerful.
So what I mean is, of course, right now, if you from the human nature perspective, it's very difficult because they don't want to do that. But if we implement it by, technically by one, for example, the infrastructure, all the infrastructure will become, for example, decentralized, and from the bottom to the top, one step by one step. Maybe you can.
Maybe. So, I mean, it's an interesting hypothesis, right? I'm not to say it couldn't work. It may work. It may even be the best solution, right? Maybe better than anything else we could have. The question is how. So even when you look at Bitcoin, like let's take Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a new currency. It came about recently. It totally decentralized. But who benefited most from Bitcoin? I would say a handful of people. Became incredibly rich and powerful due to Bitcoin. But the average person, no. I mean, it didn't change their situation at all.
Actually, even the Bitcoins we are talking about is decentralized. But once you have because the money machine, right? Once somebody have the money pool, you over like the 50%. You have more than 50% of work.
I know. So even these decentralized, that's my point. Even these decentralized systems aren't necessarily purely decentralized. And the people who benefit isn't evenly distributed. So even though we have this technology, the blockchain, which is very powerful and very unique, it doesn't mean that when we put it into reality, that everybody will benefit from it.
You are right.
And that's my question. Like if we can get the blockchain to do that, I will be very happy. Like, I would be all on board for that. Can we get it? I haven't seen examples where we could do it at a large scale. And it really worked to make a lot of people very wealthy. I still see the concentration of wealth happening, even with the blockchain.
So another way, if we say another way, actually say AI and also blockchain to make rich people more rich.
Yes, exactly. They didn't solve this inequality problem.
Because the older people, they don't have such kind of
or the knowledge.
You don't have
the people were the vanguard were the people with the inside knowledge. The people were early adopters. And the people who had money to buy in early. Like the venture
because for the poor people, you only asset or only capacity.
They have no capacity.
Your job. You don't have jobs, and you have nothing.
And they have no capacity to buy the coins. If they got any coins, they would immediately sell them for survival, right? They're living for survival. It doesn't change their position for the poor people. The middle class, some of them benefited a little if they got in early, but the majority didn't have much impact. It was really the early adopters, the technologists who were in the know, and then the early investors who came. Those were the two beneficiaries.
So right now, because that every day you see a lot of the people, a lot of companies, for example, especially like the AI native companies come out.
Yes.
And especially in the Silicon Valley.
Yes.
So every day. Last visit to Silicon Valley, I saw a lot of the team from Korea, from Japan, other country, they flow into the Silicon Valley because right now Silicon Valley become the center of the innovation, especially AI center of the world. And you are talking about that your business model is like a founder space.
Yes.
Right? I think I have a feeling, this maybe is a very good business model because I'm not talking about your social responsibility, right?
Yes.
So we're talking about another way. So what is the business model of your founder space?
Oh, moving forward?
Yeah.
So I'm actually moving forward, putting most of my time now into the nonprofit.
Oh, nonprofit.
Most of my time. Because I have enough money, I don't need to worry about that right now.
Yeah.
And I really think the issues we discussed today are so important and will have such a huge impact that if we aren't discussing these at a deep level and we aren't engaging and actually coming up with real world solutions that we can try out in the real world, experiment and figure out what works, we're not going to leave our children a much better world to live in.
Okay, I understand. So that means so right now that it's not a first priority for the fund space. It's not to make money. It's to help the fund to get it supported.
So I'm really my main focus has shifted from founder space as a startup accelerator and venture builder into doing primarily nonprofit work.
Okay.
And also doing writing my books and things like that because I just think that the point we are in history right now, it's so important for people like you and me to really take an active role, responsibility for what we're creating, because it's just the repercussions of this technology are just going to overwhelm. Like even the smartest people in the world haven't even begun to grapple with these issues. They don't know. You talk to Dr. Hinton or Elon Musk or they don't have solutions for these.
That's right.
They don't. People don't know what to do next.
I think you got a very good, perspective. So because right now, I understand that right now that we have like 1.7 billion people. They don't have ID. They don't have ID. Simply, they don't have ID. So they don't have ID. They don't have a passport. They can do nothing.
Yes,
they cannot
all around the world we have these unbanked, un-ID'd people. Right, in Africa, and all these other countries. So how do they function in a modern technological society?
What we should do is what I mean is we should help the people to get into the digital time, right?
We do. I think that's an absolute necessity.
That's right. Yeah.
I think getting these people online, ID, getting them bank accounts, getting them crypto accounts, whatever they need to function in the world, really, really important.
And also, even the United Nations, for example, like a United Nations Refugee Organization, they distribute a lot of money to the poor people. That eventually the poor people only get a portion of the money.
I know, skimmed off the top by other people.
So we think that right now, I think this.
We want to be able to directly.
That's right. Everybody have that.
We need. You're absolutely right. We need to do this.
Yes.
This is a world problem.
Yeah.
And then we also need to get them not just money. We need to get them opportunity and education.
That's right.
Opportunity and education are even more important than money, right?
If opportunity to found a company.
To found a company or do something, right, with their talents. That can contribute to the world, and an education so that they can understand and increase their potential in their life. These are the most important things we can give people. So, but AI, honestly, and blockchain with crypto, they have the power to do this. We have the tools to do this. We just have to figure out how to use them in the right way.
Yeah, this technology, digital technology, can play a critical role in this area, and so right now, I think is Another very important question is how can we get money from the rich people?
Yeah, that's a there are rich people like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates who have been very magnanimous and given huge amounts into their funds, which are doing a great deal of good.
Yeah.
But most rich people don't want to do that. They are keeping their money.
Well, I mean, can government have some way to force them to?
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Depending on the country, right?
Yeah.
So every government has the power to tax whoever they want. So every government in the world, if they have any power at all, it is to do this. The question is, do the politicians, the ones in charge, have the will to do it?
Okay.
Right?
So
do they want to do it? And then also, if they do it, are they going to do it in a way that actually creates benefit? If you just hand money to people, I don't know if that's the best thing to do. I think what we want to do is use the money to reward the type of behavior that actually benefits society.
Actually, so right now, for example, like a tax regulation, you can say is give some incentive for the rich people to make a donation to charity or nonprofit.
That works a little, but ultimately, it's just it's not enough to get rich people to hand over their fortunes. Most people donate not for the tax benefit.
Okay.
They donate because they're still giving away far more than they're gaining.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
What they're
get a deduction.
Yeah, that's just a little helpful for them. But what most people, when they give money, they're giving because they believe in something.
Okay.
Because they believe in something.
Okay.
So you look at people where they give their money. So Warren Buffett has given his money to charity. Bill Gates set up the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Elon Musk, he gave a lot of his money to Donald Trump's campaign, right? Because he believed in that. You look at other people, Larry Ellison. He, instead of giving his money to charity, he's promised $40 billion to his son to buy out Warner Brothers, right?
Okay.
He wants to control the media. People are using their money in different ways to accomplish whatever ideology and belief systems guide them.
That's stupid.
What?
I have a very good question. So you can think about it. So any way for us to create a real public interest in company that operate like a company, but that beneficial to the poor people.
So they have these B corporations in the United States that are public benefit companies that are hybrid of for-profit company as well as a non-profit. They're sort of a hybrid. And they have a charter and everything else. These companies are as good as their leadership. At the end of the day, just like OpenAI was a non-profit, if its leaders had held true to their original vision, then they would still be a non-profit.
How about
but they wouldn't be the OpenAI they are today, right? Somebody else would. Anthropic would have taken.
Can we create a leadership for this public interest in company with a DAO? For example, we have 1,000 people make the decision based on the DAO.
Potentially. So potentially, you could. It would be very interesting. I think people are trying these experiments. I haven't seen one yet, a DAO, that had a huge impact yet. So I've seen a lot of DAOs, right? And some of them have had impact, and some of them have had significant impact for like a period of time, like for a year or two. But I haven't seen one, and maybe you have seen one, that has grown to have really significant impact on public welfare.
No, I have not. I have seen nothing. Like
nothing.
But what is my ideal and also my dream is create a public interest company, and with control. It's not by the individual, by a DAO, a group of people.
If you can do this, I mean, and you can actually get it to deliver results. I think that is a wonderful thing to do.
I mean, like what I said, because once we do this with what we call the global tender DAO,
right?
So, because this can make a lot of money. That we charge the 10% of the commission. This is big money.
Right.
So we are talking about the $34 trillion US, the total approachment. So this will create a very good profit company.
And then you can put that for public use and let the DAO decide.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So that could be a wonderful thing. Honestly, it could be an incredibly powerful tool.
Yes.
And become an institution in the public for the public good. I would love to see that.
Okay. Great.
But there are a lot of challenges along the way that you well know, right? In getting, like, who are those 1,000 people? How were they chosen? What are their goals, right? What do they want out of the DAO? Are they truly philanthropic? Are their goals even aligned?
I think this is my question.
Just because you have 1,000 people controlling the DAO doesn't make it good, right?
I know.
It doesn't make
it. Anyway, you should have a balancing, right? It become the, centralized, decentralized. You cannot completely decentralized. Then you do nothing.
Right.
You cannot do nothing. Every day you argue each other, right?
Right. So just like Binance, the big company, it's still centralized, right? Even though it's in this crypto world.
Physical way, they're decentralized.
But the leadership is centralized. So human beings gravitate towards these centralized systems. It's human nature is that some people are leaders and the rest follow. And so even in the structure of a DAO, with 1,000 independent people voting, it may still, a few people may be controlling what everybody does.
One part different.
It's just because how human society organizes itself. It's really hard to escape.
Okay. What you say is remind me another very good idea. So we just today we just talk. It's nothing. If I offend you, you just tell me.
No, I'm never offended by anybody with ideas. So I don't care if you agree with me or disagree.
I have another idea. Is for example, right now that we see different religions around the world, but actually, in the core of the religion, almost the same. Almost the same.
What do you mean?
So they're thinking about this is about the way the universe operates.
Yes.
You know how universe operates. Then become outside is religion. Outside the religion is a lot of the people, right?
Yeah.
So what I think is in the East Asian area we have a very old. Not religion. I don't mean philosophy, right?
Yes.
It's called Tao.
Taoism.
Yeah. So what I think is actually what you say is very good, very right. So people is not about in the future. It's not about the money, not about what they do, about they have a belief.
Yes.
You gotta believe something.
We all offer a belief system.
Yeah.
So I believe.
Yeah.
It's my belief that everybody has a belief system.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you're an atheist, if you're a Christian, if you're Muslim, if you're Buddhist. We all have our belief systems, and we believe them. It doesn't mean what is truth and what are beliefs. Very hard for us to know.
Yeah.
Because we are all trapped within our own belief system. Like, I can't believe something I don't believe. Right? So if you have a different belief system than me, we both are going to see the world through the lens of our belief
system.
That's
right. This is exactly what I say. Actually, so if you, for example, see a religion, we can think a way. For example, like a mountain called Himalaya, right?
Yes.
On the north part, maybe is Buddhist.
Yes.
On west part, maybe is like a Christian.
Yes.
So everybody see different way. They just see one way, but actually the central of the religion is almost the same.
I believe that.
Yeah.
So I believe the core of most belief systems are very similar. I actually would go so far as to say an atheist and a devout Christian are not that different. They're not that different. They just come up with different reasons that the universe functions the way it does.
Maybe just from the different aspect.
They're seeing the world from a different perspective. They're looking at the world from a different way. But you look at people, but our beliefs can influence us and our actions. They do.
Yeah.
So there are certain belief systems, I think, that are more compassionate than others. There are others that are more brutal and harsh. I tend to gravitate in my worldview towards the more compassionate ones. So like I would gravitate more towards Buddhism than other systems because I think it's more tolerant of people with differences, more compassionate, but that's my belief system.
Yeah.
But you look at the world, and the world has both in it, right? The world is so complex in situations that we're in. You know, most people could be very compassionate at one time, and the same person could be brutal in another situation. We've seen this throughout history. If you read history and study history, we as human beings are very influenced, I think, most influenced by our environment.
Yeah.
Who we interact with, who we talk to, our personal experiences, they shape our belief system, and then that shapes how we act in the world. So I think, like you said, there's truth expressed in different ways through different religions.
You mean truth?
Truth. So I would say there's truth in the Tao.
Yeah.
There's truth in the Christian Bible.
Yeah.
There's truth in the Upanishads.
Yeah.
There's truth in the Torah. I was raised Jewish. So I was raised as a secular Jew. So I was raised as Jewish but not religious.
I see.
So I am Jewish, but I tend to view my grandfather. He was a Hindu. He was a Jew but a Hindu, and in the early days he studied under a yogi. And his belief was that all religions are like spokes on a wheel, and they all point in the same direction, but you're coming down a different path. Very similar to what you said with the mountain metaphor. In my belief, all human beings, this is my core belief, all human beings need to believe something.
Yeah.
So we all gravitate towards stories that seem to reflect the reality we have experienced, that seem to encapsulate what we aspire to, what we want the world to be like, and at the same time just our mesh with the experience we've lived. So I think I don't subscribe to any particular existing philosophical system. It's very hard for me to just pick one.
Yeah.
I sort of see them all as containing elements of truth.
Okay.
And I try, this is why it's hard for me to put a name on it, I try to learn from all of them.
Okay.
So what I try to do, this is my goal, is to actually try to understand why people see the world in different ways and what truth they are seeing. And then learn, that there is a truth in that. It's a very valid way of seeing the world. And then there's another perspective, and another perspective, and another perspective. So I guess you could call me, I'm a seeker. I'm always searching for truth.
Yeah.
Not quite settled that I will ever know truth, but always searching for it and trying to pry open my mind, even though I do have my limits. Like, if you were to ask me what do I really believe, I believe in science. I believe it's the best model we have for explaining the universe. And I also believe in philosophy, in the sense of like Taoist philosophy or Buddhist philosophy, because those talk to the soul, right? To us as human beings, as compassion, our emotions. And I fundamentally believe that human beings are not rational. None of us are rational. We are emotional creatures. What we do is we experience the world emotionally. Our emotions flow out of our past experience and out of our genetics, right?
Yeah.
So we react to something. We act not on a conscious level. All of us act actually unconsciously.
Okay.
We react, but then we reflect. So let's say an experience happens to me, like my father dies, right? Or I get in a car accident and I'm crippled, right? Some experience, right? I will react to that. And I will have an initial reaction. Or you punch me in the face, I will react to that, right? Based on who I am, what my experience is. If I'm a Buddhist, I might do nothing. If I'm not a Buddhist, I might punch you back, right? But I'll react. But consequences will flow, right? So let's say I punched you back, right? Then we get in a fight. Maybe I get really beat up from the fight, and I regret that. So I will reflect on that experience, how I acted and reacted, and then I will rationalize my behavior. Say, well, he punched me, I had to punch him, but maybe I won't do it again because the results weren't good, and I'll modify my worldview a little, and my belief system. So all of us, I don't think when we act in the world, we aren't rationally thinking through all the possibilities. It's impossible for us. All we do is distill it down to an emotion, and then we act on that emotion, and then we see the consequences, we reflect on those, and then that influences the next time we're in a situation, a similar situation. So everything from science that I've read, and I've read a lot of books on neurobiology, everything I've seen from sociology and from my personal experience led me to believe this is how we are. And then we adopt belief systems that help us function in the world, help us psychologically function so that we feel a level of comfort. Like, the world is very unpredictable, very crazy, and help us navigate our way through this experience we're having, we call life, existence. Does that make any sense to you?
Of course, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
And I mean, in order to create a better world, should we just make an investment and make a lot of money at first? Then once we have the money, we have a power to change the world.
Well, if you wait to do that, you'll never make change.
Okay.
So there's many ways to make change.
Okay.
There's people who make a lot of money, and then they end up dying and leaving their money to somebody else. Or you never know when you're going to die.
Okay.
When you give away the money, or the people like Bill Gates or Warren Buffett who actually give it away to charity, and they live long enough to do that and have a profound impact. But then there are other people who make change simply by influencing other people in many ways. Writing books.
You mean do it right now?
I say, don't wait for the future. Do it now. Like, if you can make change, make change. Like, you're here now. You don't even know if you'll be around tomorrow. If you can make change and make money, make change and make money. The money will help you make more change. But you don't have to have money to make change. You have to only connect with people who have money and get them to help you make the change with you. Like, you don't have to go out and spend your whole life making money. If you could go and actually get them to take their vast wealth or their power and actually put it to good use.
So actually, right now I'm founded a digital foundation.
Yes.
To do the job we are talking about, help the poor people in for example, Africa, in East Asia, and in Latin American.
That is wonderful.
Wonderful. Okay. So what we do is the idea I talked with you regarding to give them an ID, UN digital ID. And give them digital wallet, and also give the UBI. Of course, so right now we have a limited ability to do that, but I think what you say is right. We need to do it right now.
Just do it. If you make money in the process, great. If you don't make money, find people with money to support you.
Yes.
But most importantly, you have to figure out, how do I make this sustainable? Right? So we don't just do it once and it helps some people and then it fizzles out, right? Because it runs out of money. We need to figure out, how can we create this system that is sustainable? That is your biggest challenge.
So this is but right now what I'm thinking about is use a DAO to do the job. Use a DAO. So because I have a limited ability, so we invite more partners coming in and more people coming in. Use not only their money, and also use their knowledge.
So I think using the DAO is a great, it's new technology, and you should definitely leverage it. What you need to do is not lock yourself in. So if the DAO works, right? If it works, go with it. If it stops working, kill it and try something else. That's all I know.
So right now we can use the DAO at least, for example, DAO is the most. I think it's a transport tool because you can use the smart contract to do that.
Right, and you can get people voting. It's a democratic system. I love that about the DAO. So I think actually using the DAO and getting people involved, and it gets them to participate. So it's a wonderful thing to do. And then you just have to figure out how it will solve the problem of getting digital IDs to all these people, and then how can they use these IDs in the real world to better their lives.
And also, this is what I'm talking with you. doing the dinner, right?
Yes.
I think it's right now, if you use somebody people level, for example, people level, what we call people level,
Yeah.
they'll create a lot of problems. So we just simply use the AI agent to do
Yeah,
it.
to do that. Yeah, as much of it as possible.
Yeah, so that means that at the top level is the DAO
Yeah.
to control to make a decision. But in the execution level, we use the AI agent to do the job for us.
Yeah, and right now, AI agents can do a lot,
Yeah.
but they're still limited. You know that.
I think it's right now, according to my the practicals, I think right now is more and more job can done.
So what we really need, we're really at the stage at now,
Yeah.
and this will continue for some years,
Mm-hmm.
is people working with agents.
Oh yeah.
Are the best
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
So people can be far more productive working with agents
Mm-hmm.
than without them. So instead of
That's
hiring,
right.
instead of hiring 10 people, you can hire one who's
Yeah.
really adept. And if you have the right agents,
Yeah.
that person can accomplish the work.
You see, obviously is right because right now, especially for example like architecture level
Yeah.
and also IT level, still need people to do that.
He's still the agents left to run on their own just spin out of control.
But Steven, let me say it this way, because right now I think right now I can do the I can do the architecture design.
Yeah.
I can do the what is the problem we need an AI agent to solve.
Yeah.
So this is already. I mean, for example, we have 1,000 people.
Yeah.
We have idea. We have ability to do the architecture design,
Yes.
and then AI agent do everything. This is already enough, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So with a very small team, you can accomplish a lot,
Yeah.
which you could
Yeah.
never do before.
So, like what I said is, we can use, for example, like your founder space
Yes.
to help people to create a lot of the one-man company, right?
Yes.
The CEO can make a decision. But AI agent can do the job.
And there are some,
Mm.
solo entrepreneurs now
Yeah,
who are making quite a bit of money. using
that's
these
right.
agents.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like what I said, the global tended business, it's very easy to use the AI agent to do the job.
Yeah, you figured that out already.
Yeah. Thank you very much. for
My
your
pleasure.
attention.
This has been you're so bright.
Thank you.
It's
for
just
your
such a
information.
pleasure. I feel like we could talk all day and all night.
Okay.
This has been wonderful though.
Yeah.
I really like talking with you. You're very smart and you're very intellectually stimulating.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
And also thank you very much for your coming here.
Yeah, my pleasure.